I'm Nikki, and I was saved when I was 8 years old, but with everything that was going on around me, there was a glass wall erected, and I could always see Jesus. I could even hear his voice at times, but I could never get to him. I could never touch him the way that I wanted to, and I would have all these visions and these dreams and all these things that I thought were real. They were so real to me, and I couldn't understand what they were. I didn't have an understanding of that, and I didn't have the tools that I needed to ask Jesus what he was trying to show me, because I know now he was trying to speak to me, and he had things for me and treasures for me, and I just couldn't reach him. And it was during my freedom session that I started to see that so much of what had happened in my life and in the lives of my parents and my ancestors had really affected who I had become. I lived with so much fear and insecurity. I think I can honestly say that I hated myself. I had no concept of love. If the people around me loved me, I would never have known it. I couldn't feel it. Not only was there a glass wall between me and Jesus, there was a massive concrete wall between me and everybody else. And I had felt like I needed to protect my heart, and without even realizing that I was doing it. I wanted to love people, and I really wanted to let people in, and I wanted that relationship with them, and I actually was hurt all the time because I didn't have the relationship that I wanted with these people in my life. I couldn't figure out what in the world was keeping me from them. I later discovered in another session that the Lord revealed to me that I had been sexually molested when I was 3. It was someone that was outside of my family that was actually watching me. I had no memories. I didn't understand how that was possible. How could he be showing me these things? And it was real. And later it was even confirmed by some details that I got from my relatives. And that incident is what caused me to put up a concrete wall between me and everybody else in my life. That's where everything stemmed from me, my anger, because I didn't feel like I had a voice and nobody heard me. And of course, a 3-year-old little girl has no voice, so I didn't even get a chance. Starting out of the gate, I didn't have a chance to have a voice. I actually had one of the things that I saw is I kept seeing flashing blue and red, and I didn't know what that was. And finally it was revealed that the person that molested me was actually an officer. And so that explained the constant fear and anxiety that I would have when I saw a cop or some person in authority. I would be in tears, and I would be terrified. I would shake. I wasn't even getting pulled over, and I would shake when I would see these lights, and I couldn't understand why. And it was because that person that I had viewed in authority had done that to me. And once I was able to forgive that person and forgive everyone surrounding that, and go back in and just get that little girl that was hurt and just put her back together, make myself whole again, everything just broke from me in a good way. I was able to just destroy the concrete wall. And before this, I had even been able to, with my first freedom session, I was able to break the glass wall between me and Jesus. And so thankfully I had him just healing me through the whole process and holding me and just helping me with these emotions that I didn't know how to feel and I didn't know what to do with. And once I had these tools from these freedom sessions, and I even continued on in the training because I just loved it so much, I want more. And that's been my heart for Jesus, like I said, since I was 8. I just want more, and I have more, and I know there's still more, and I'm a completely different person now that all those things have been broken off my life. I don't struggle with insecurity anymore. I don't put up walls. I still get hurt, but I know what to do with it, and I can just love people where they are, and it doesn't have to be about me. So when I went through my freedom session, one of the ways that my voice was restored was that I was actually sitting there. I was actually pregnant during my freedom session, so I was trying to kneel and sit and do whatever I could to be comfortable, and at one point the Lord just said, get up and walk around the room, get up and walk around the room. And I said, okay. So I'm walking around the room, and I'm walking, and we're getting to the point where I know that there's about to be breakthrough, because you can feel it. You can feel like it's almost like giving birth in some ways. It's like, you know, something's coming and it's a struggle, but you want it. And so I could feel that. I could feel it in my spirit. And I was like, okay, whatever it is, Lord, I submit. And he said, I want you to sing for me. Now, a tiny bit of backstory. I knew from a young age that I was a worshiper. I knew that I loved to sing. I knew that my life would involve singing somehow, and music, I was just wired for that. There was a point in my life where I moved to another city, and I was so insecure there were a lot of musicians in that city, and I was so insecure, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't be around all those amazingly talented people because I had no clue what my identity actually was. And so I just left. I moved away from the city, and I couldn't do it. And that from that point on, I didn't sing, I didn't make music. I had completely given that up. So when I was in my freedom session and the Lord said, I want you to sing for me, that was really tough, because not only did he want me to sing again, but he wanted me to do it in front of the two people in the room. And I was like, oh, but what if I'm terrible? I've been crying, like I'm not in good shape. And he said, I love you, I delight in you, I love your voice, sing for me. So I surrendered and said, okay, what do you want to hear? And he gave me the song, and I just started singing. And it was messy, and to the natural ear, it probably wasn't very good. But I could feel the anointing had been released on me. And then I just sang louder and louder, and it felt so good to get my voice back. And now I am leading worship and operating and flowing within not only my worshiping gifts, but my prophetic anointing, and I'm seeing things I've never seen before. I'm doing things I've never done before, and I'm loving like I've never loved before. And I know it's because these gifts have been released in me, and I can't wait to see what God does next.